Yeah, I mean, to just keep this simple, this is about the fact that Donald Trump allegedly paid hush money to Stormy Daniels to shut her up because they had an affair. Now, I also have a letter here, Peggy, from the law firm McDermott, Will and Emery. That'll come up on your screen as well. And it's to the Federal Electoral Commission, if you can see that, Office of Complaints Examination and Legal Administration. It's titled Highly Confidential, and it was written by one Stephen M. Ryan, counsel for Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen was Donald Trump's attorney from 2006 to 2018. Now, I should point out that the same Michael Cohen subsequently did a stint in jail on a range of charges. He's out now. But the letter from this legal firm, and you can see it there on the screen, if the boys just shove that up again, in a private transaction in 2016, it says, before the US presidential election, Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds. This is the lawyers for Cohen writing. He used his own personal funds, that's Cohen did, to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to MS Stephanie Clifford, that's Stormy Daniels. Neither the Trump organisation, this is what the letter says, nor the Trump campaign was a party to this transaction with MS Clifford, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly. It goes on, contrary to the allegations in the complaint, which are entirely speculative, neither Mr. Cohen nor Essential Consultants LLC made any in-kind contribution to Donald J. Trump for President Inc. or any other presidential campaign committee. It says Mr. Cohen has not been a government employee during any of the relevant time period. The payment in question does not constitute a campaign contribution or expenditure, and therefore the FEC lacks jurisdiction over this matter. The complainants have not and cannot present any evidence to the contrary. Accordingly, the complaint should be dismissed. Peggy, so what do you make of that?
Well, both sides have basically said there's no there, but this DA is intent on moving forward with this. Now, this is the difference between like a grand jury proceeding and a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing is open. A grand jury proceeding is supposed to be behind closed doors, and it's to protect the witnesses, and it's also to protect the presumed innocence of the person that they may potentially put charges onto, and none of that has happened. And so we know that this is a political stunt. This is turned into a legal circus, so much so that actually the House of Representatives, the Republicans there, are actually looking at going after DA Bragg for judicial misconduct, because this is just so outside the bounds of what they should be doing.
Does Ryan,
by the way, crime is spiking in New York, and criminals are roaming the streets, and this is what they're spending their time on. Yeah,
just to get off this, does Ryan's statement, Ryan, that is the legal representative of Cohen, does the statement on behalf of Cohen hold up?
Well, Michael Cohen is not somebody that we should be listening to. He's not a reputable witness at all. But the statement is one of many that this grand jury has not even seen. And I think this is one of the reasons that they have stalled out moving forward, is because one of the people that the prosecutor brought forward brought an entire stack of hundreds of pages of documentation that had been submitted, but the grand jury themselves had only seen a few pages. So I think even that raised questions among the grand jury themselves. We know what we've seen, but apparently there's a lot we haven't seen, and maybe we're being played by the DA's office to move forward with something that it doesn't have any legal standing.